What is going on, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republics. Off the air immediately following NXT. Got the best crew in the game hanging with me on Tuesday night. Let's send it first out to Louisville, Kentucky. It's the guy you should believe in, Dryzzy. What's good?
Before I get to my spiel, happy Women's History Month. Good
Yes.
morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in.
Yes, sir.
Put your twos up. It's your boy Drizzy.
Drizz, it is always a pleasure to have you. There's no doubt about it.
I try. I try.
We got Shoddy too. I'm going to hit the intro as hard as I can here from the DMV. The Tuesday Night Delight himself is in the building tonight. Shad, it's good to have you back. How are you, my friend?
Ain't nobody dope as me. I'm just so fresh and so
So
clean,
clean.
clean. I'm rocking the sponsor today. Salute to my bro Carter, Crisp Company. We crisp with the hoodie, crisp with the beanie. We looking crisp over here. You know, presentation is a key. You gotta look good. You feel good. This, that, and the third. Shop with them. If you haven't shopped with them, you are not an intellectual person. I'm here, guys. It's Tuesday. Throw them deuces up, two down for the good, great state of Virginia. It looks different. Actually, there you go. It looks better over here. My camera flips. Let's
I
get
like it.
it.
I like it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. No question, Shad. We got in the comments David Sheldon, evening/morning, gents. Doesn't matter where you are. Evening, morning,
Governor.
afternoon. Drizzy's got us on that one every day. We've also got Cardi in the comments with Let's Go. Absolutely, Shad representing the crisp brand. And I mean, nothing soggy here. All crispy. No doubt. We got a bunch of comments. We got Melon Playground with Drizzy. He's in the building. We've got Coach 23 with that's one of the best roadblocks I've seen. Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna get into roadblock right this second, essentially. Bobby Petito is in it with today's Kiana James and Izzy Dame. Dame's NXT day for me every Tuesday. Yes, no doubt. Coach 23
I
asked, "What's
see
up,
it, Bobby.
fellas?" We're hanging. It's awesome. Bobby Petito shouted all three of us out. Monster shout out, Bobby. Always, man. You're the best.
D squared.
Twos up, Coach 23, and
Deuce.
Bobby's got his twos up as well.
Deuces. Ooses.
Let's get into the show. Let's talk about that main event. Absolutely wild. We're looking at Tony D
Oh,
and the fam. Chicago guy myself there, but ooh, did he have a few tricks up his sleeve?
he had a
Tricks
little
is
bit
in
of
a couple of dollars.
Should
So
he
a
had
hundred
a he had
Oh,
a
he had a
money. Money.
he had the gabagool. He
he
had
had
all of
a
that.
he had a trick or two up that sleeve. Trick or treat. Trick Williams entrance music hits. Not
Have to have that
there.
dance. That dance goes amazing.
It
With
does.
with
Honestly,
that
we could hit
song.
the swerve dance. Prince Nana's got something really going over there on AEW.
Where's Trick? I thought I saw him. I heard the music.
I'm just saying, we heard the music.
I don't know where he went.
Trick Williams, not there. Just enough time for forget about it. That fisherman suplex. Shout out Mr. Perfect. I'm a huge fan. And then we get Trick Williams actually in the building to
And
end the show.
he slid in there so smooth. It was like,
Mania weekend, smooth as butter. Drizzy, I gotta ask you first, and then I'm gonna toss it to you, Shad. Drizzy, dude, talk to me about it.
now last week I told y'all what was gonna happen. I booked this. I called it word for word what was gonna happen. We getting Tony D and Stand and Deliver couldn't happen to a better guy. Now, the same thing that I've been telling you for months. We started talking about this back last summer. The biggest feud in NXT right now, period, point blank. Trick versus Mello. That is gonna be your main event. This has been one of the best built storylines they've had in a while.
Yes.
And for it to be their main event, and especially for their main event scene, all the other scenes get great stories, but this has been top tier storytelling, main roster storytelling. Whoever has had their hands in this, put their foot in it. It has been dope, fire, just beautiful.
Yes.
Now we are full. We are like, wait, it's like a. So these last couple of months with Trick not being here, we've been on the roller coaster going up. We've at the top now with him coming back, and we getting ready to go room. And by the time we get to the loop de loop, it will be Stand and Deliver. It's about to be amazing. I cannot wait for this ride.
I can't either, man. I'm so with you because, and it's awesome too. We got over here in the comments, Coach 23 with Tony D is an underrated wrestler behind the Dawn gimmick. Kind of reminds me of when Chad Gable was Shorty G. See, I think he's done better with that gimmick than even Shorty G. I I would say that Gable is a better bell to bell wrestler
Yeah,
for sure.
no questions asked.
But man, the Dawn gimmick I think has worked across the board. And not only that, he gets the win. He's now in the title picture. Push him to the moon. At least that's where I'm sitting when it comes to this. And then we have Trick Mello. This is all exciting to me, Shot. I got to ask you about it too. What are we looking at here? Headed to Mania weekend. Only
Yeah,
2
I'm.
more weeks.
Ooh, my bad. Yeah, I mean it makes sense going into it. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams has been the long run feud going into this Mania weekend. Well deserved. These guys have told a story throughout years of being allies and being part of a crew to now where we are now, with the whole angle that we had a few months ago. It was a long time coming, so we're getting, the final bits and pieces settled in for the build up to it. And tonight was the first uh step as Trick returns from all the chaos that happened prior to it. Um the reveal, creative, interesting, and adding Tony D to it as well, and it kind of adds to his character and adds flair to it as well. Um, just the production side of it and how it was presented and all of that was a little sloppy. I'm gonna be honest with you. It it
Ooh.
it didn't come off as clean as it should have come off, in my
Ooh.
opinion. And I love NXT, but I gotta keep it a buck with y'all. So
Okay.
it was okay for the most part on that. I love seeing Trick Williams come in after. The crowd still loves him over as ever. That security team needs to be fired because none of those guys could stop anything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No doubt.
but it was cool to see that. I'm excited for them to ultimately have their match at Stand and Deliver. Tony D, I think this is a person that is well deserving of also what may have, I don't know if it'll be the main event, but we could argue of it because it is for the NXT championship, but a different type of opponent for Ilya Dragunov, someone who's got a different, premise with having an actual distinct character. He's playing an actual gimmick, and I'm very curious to see how it goes because Ilya's last few bouts have been against people where he has to kind of show you that this is about respect, and he is going to show that he's the bigger and better man. Ilya's got to go against the family now. This is a guy who's got a lot of moving pieces. He's got his Griselda Blanco and Miss what's her name
Rizzo.
again? Rizzo.
Rizzo.
He's got
Rizzo.
He's got the lawyer he paid off with Crucifina, and then he got his main man, his gunner in Stack. So it's gonna be a interesting storyline because he's got all these people in the family, but it's also interesting because I still think that both of these guys, there isn't an actual heel or baby face tied to it. And I'll be honest with you, man, there is a strong possibility that Tony D'Angelo wins at Stand and Deliver. I think him as NXT champion with the new aligned family is a lot more interesting. I think they've added a lot more juice to it. I think Rizzo being added to it, having a strong women character in the faction, and then Crucifino, who actually plays a good role character wise in the whole family, it could be rejuvenating. I think there might be some freshness to him as champion. I'm not saying it will happen, but there's a possibility it can happen. You can make a strong consideration for it. So congrats to Tony D, well deserving. And if he does ultimately win it, that's well deserving too. This dude's been fighting tooth and nail on NXT for a minute now.
Been busting his butt for years.
Yeah,
No
man.
question.
He
No
was a
question.
he was in that initial class of NXT 2.0
2.0.
with all the cheesy gimmicks with everybody like when you had him as the cheesy Don. Oh, no, he was what was he? He wasn't the Don yet, but he was there. He was goofy looking, and you had Von Wagner and in the woods chopping wood and all those the goofy side of
And
2.0,
and the
and he
GOAT Tiffany
Yes.
Stratton.
And the one
Let's
thing
not
I would
forget
add
about
about
she don't go here no more.
the
she
one thing I would
graduated.
about
Hold on, we gotta be. I'm gonna be. Let me say this before we start though, and this might be a hot take, because I know a lot of people love nostalgia and whatnot. Let's not act like NXT 2.0 did a lot of good. It
no,
did a lot of good. It did a lot of good.
Yes.
It it
it did some.
it did a lot of good for what they're gonna create now. There's once you get to this next watch, it's the bigger picture, bro. A lot of these people came from this class and they're continuing from
It's
it.
gonna be a reach in foul
Listen, that
shot. That's gonna be 2 shots at the
Okay,
line.
okay,
that
black and gold, black and gold.
that
What's up with
clown
Hunter's guys doing, huh? What are Hunter's guys doing on the main roster
I
like
know,
that?
not much. I'm with you.
Gargano not doing nothing.
The
Adam
talent, I'm
Cole on
with you.
AEW. Like, come on. It did good for the landscape of WWE. I'm
It
not saying
did.
it's better than black and gold, but if you're treating it as a
if you take it for what it
developmental
is,
brand, it
but for what it
really
gives
is
you.
beneficial. Yeah, man. You have more likelihood of finding a person like a Bianca Belair. Like Bianca Belair is the gold standard of like that. I'm gonna find a pure athlete and I'm gonna put them through the groundwork and create them like they have it already. But yeah, my bad. Sorry.
You're totally good. I'm like coughing, so I had to smash the mute button there on myself. I mean, honestly, no, I completely hear where you're coming from, Shad. And like 2.0 is better than it had been looked at for a long time. Like it in hindsight, things are almost always 2020 though, right? And that's one of those that,
People just didn't like look. People didn't like the logo because it had rainbow, but look what Dynamite got
but the
now.
Wale song was tight. I don't care what
And the
anyone
Wale song
says.
was
Oh
tight.
yeah, that
It
was
was
cold.
Yes.
super cold.
Yes.
But with
DC stand
anything,
up.
you have to have growing pains. You don't just open up and start off and are just great right off the bat. It doesn't work that way. When you're a baby, you crawl, then you walk. Right now, they're walking. They're getting ready to go into a full run by the time Stand and Deliver is over with because the stories have been on point for the last year and a half now. We ever since we started this show, there has not been a bad story. Even the Von Wagner stories, when they were bad, were still entertaining. Where now we're getting good stuff with him.
Yeah, stories were good with him. He's just bad in
No
general. But
question.
He's better now. He's better now. We,
I'm
we can
sorry, my
we
bad.
we can enjoy a Von Wagner match now.
We can. Von Wagner has improved as much as anybody, I think, before our eyes, right? That to your point,
Yes.
Drizzy, like that's something that we've seen all year long, basically. And I mean, it's funny to me, like the this stuff with Tony D tonight, right? It- the fact that he had Trick Williams in his pocket and Carmelo had security in his pocket fits the Tony D character. It fits Carmelo thinking he's got a leg up pretty well in execution, like Shad said, right? It's somewhere in the middle.
Hmm.
It could have been delivered better, but the idea I do love,
All right,
right?
so I understand y'all saying it could have been better, but we also have to remember the way that the uh what's that called? The what's it called? The performance center? It's the performance center, right? They're in performance center, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
I forget. I know they call it something else, but it's the performance center right now. The way that it's built, you have your hard cam, but you can't go around like they do in on Raw and SmackDown. So yes, it does look a little bit awkward from where it is. If this was in a bigger stadium, a bigger arena, yeah, definitely. But for what you're getting, that's all it is. It's like I think it was perfectly fine. It's just the building. They did the best of what they had at that point in time.
Absolutely. No, I'm with you on that. But I like the idea from a writing perspective. It's money, right?
Right perspective is fine. I'm solely saying how the presentation of it was. That's it.
No, and that's where I agree with you on that too. I think that's what to like what I was kind of saying there is it's somewhere in the middle. Also, I apologize. If you're over on Instagram and or you're on YouTube, any of the other platforms, and you're having issues on Instagram, let me know because there was like a little bit of a refresh thing, and obviously we had the issues on the all of the platforms. Please do let me know. But
We
thank
got
you for
snapped, y'all. We got
yeah.
snapped.
Let me
Thanos
know.
snapped us out of Facebook and
We'll
Instagram.
figure out. I'm not sure. Like the page refreshed, and so I can't really see Instagram comments. But if you can jump on any of the other platforms, and if you do have comments, feel free to jump in there. I can see that there are people still watching on Instagram, so that's good. The good news is that it is still playing live. But yeah,
We was dust.
that's a
We was
completely
dust.
different deal.
We was dust.
Absolutely. Let's talk quickly though about Joe Gacy and Dijak. Not even really quickly. It's an asylum match. Craziest dude in NXT against maybe the baddest dude in NXT in an asylum match out of the gates on a Tuesday. This wasn't just a roadblock. This was spike strips, and I liked it. Drizzy, I got to ask you about it. And then, Sean, I'm going to toss it to you. Driz, dude.
Before I get into it, shout out GST. All right. I told y'all last week that the Asylum match essentially is the Dean Ambrose Asylum match that they came up with in the main roster. I think it works better in NXT. I feel like it's more of a feud ender than a Hell in a Cell. And for again, like the way of the size of the building, like I just talked about a little bit ago, they can't fit a Hell in a Cell in there, which very well would also be acceptable at this point. Gacy is a lunatic, a absolute madman, and we have to also applaud Donovan Dijak for that moonsault off the top of the cage. He literally touched the ceiling. I promise you, he did. He had to have touched the ceiling. He may have touched, kicked the cloud, something. He was up there. I genuinely was uh, terrified for uh, Gacy's health because I thought he came down on his head from the camera angle, but
Yeah.
just fine, able to finish the match out. They do tables. I seen all types of weapons in there, and I don't think they fully explored what they could have done in the match because it was a show opener, and they still had a whole lot more to go through tonight. A good match. It fit. It was pay per view quality, but we did definitely get a year moment with that moonsault. If you have not seen it, I beg you, go watch the match. Go watch the moonsault. You do not see big men his size flipping like that. And I have taken over your show apparently.
No, you're good. I'm
Oh,
sorry. Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. 1 second. 1 second. We're
We had
about to be back.
issues earlier on Facebook and Instagram, and now it's translating over
It's
to StreamYard. Oh
it's
my God.
all everything. It's yeah, no. I apologize. I'm with you. Outstanding. We had talk about a way to open a show. Shot, I got to ask you about it too. I'm going to toss it to you and then actually figure out the technical issue really quickly. I toss it to you.
All right, man. Nah, it was a very good opening match. They set the tone for the night, got right into it, and I think these two have done a tremendous job with their rivalry. I think it's played a very good place where Dijak does not like him, fed up with him. He just wants to exterminate him. But Gacy is the cockroach that does not want to die. He's not, letting anything go. And they fought it like that, man. It was a, awesome match. All the weapons tied to it. That moonsault, man. I'll tell you this, Dijak, got his telephone, called SmackDown, said, Mr. Nick Aldis cannot speak to the center of the universe. He said, let me see if she got some time. Luckily, she had some time. She gave
Boo.
him some pointers, said, hey, look, if you want to hit the most prettiest moonsault, you won't be able to, but I'll teach you a little bit. I'll give you a little bit of game on it. I'm not gonna give you all the game, but I'll give you a little bit of game. And he learned from Tiffany Stratton. That was a beautiful moment for Dijak. I know he's definitely appreciative towards all that he's learned from that phone call. But in all seriousness,
Boo. Tomato, tomato,
it,
tomato,
it,
tomato.
it was. Hey man, hey. I don't boo y'all when I get my take. Y'all get y'all takes in. I'll say that much. But phenomenal match. I think the telling part of it is just that Gacy is doing stuff, I guess maybe for the greater good. He's still smiling throughout all. And that is interesting about his character, is because no matter if he wins, loses, or whatever, Anthony Manzano, relax, buddy. It's not that serious. Uh it is gonna be great, man. And yeah, Tiffany Stratton is better than anybody that Anthony Manzano likes. I want to just say that. I want you to know that. Keep commenting every time I talk about her, buddy. I'm not gonna stop. You'll never stop it, bro.
It can't
Wait,
stop.
Know
no.
that.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, she don't got the best moves. So
We're
who
not. No,
cares?
talk to him, Shad. Yeah, I mean, no.
Come on, man. You really
It's a
think
good moonsault.
it's the prettiest moonsault in the world?
It's as
And not only
pretty as
this world,
could
I don't
be.
see nobody in Mars doing a better. I don't even see anybody on the moon doing a prettier moonsault than that.
I am
All
with you
right,
on that. I would
come
say
on, man.
active moonsaults. She's got to be. I mean, it's hard to
Of the
deny.
of
The
active
ha-
wrestlers,
the
of
hang
active
time of it
wrestlers.
is
Hold on,
vicious.
what are the guys? Who are we? What are hold on? What are the parameters? Who are we, like of active wrestlers or of women?
So I think if we're talking just women, it's her or Charlotte Flair.
If we're talking
Yes, sir. Let's go, Fern. Let them know.
if we're gonna talk
Yeah,
active wrestlers, there is one that is
where's
better.
Fern?
There's one that is better. Chad Gable. Tell me I'm wrong.
Chad's up there.
Tell me I'm
Chad's
wrong.
up there.
His is
Tell me
really
I'm
good.
yes.
This is really good.
I
I mean,
personally believe the
It's
best
beautiful.
moonsault of all time is
It
Shawn
is
Michaels.
beautiful. A tear drops from your eye when you see him flip.
nah, Charlotte's is really good. And this thing is, this Dijak's moonsault was beautiful because one, he's super tall too. So seeing a guy that tall like have the hang time with it visually looks pretty cool. But I mean, it's Tiffy's universe, bro. We all living in it. Man,
She don't even go here.
I can't even. I want to come up with like some clever response to that shot, but like honestly, the
No,
Tiffy's
that is the
universe,
response.
I respect it.
She don't go here. This isn't her show no more. She on
She's
SmackDown.
yeah.
Till I
it's
go
all
till I go fight for her position before Bianca slams her.
man. Let me just do
Yeah, okay,
Saturday. I'm just
I'm
gonna do
still
Saturday review.
disappointed about it too.
Let me put my 2 weeks notice in for Saturdays now, man.
Sean's
I'm only
got
doing
his
Saturday shows now.
Sean's like I'll see you on Thursday and every day but Tuesday night after
Hey, look,
this.
I got buddy switch the topic on the comments now.
I said,
My
you
bad.
don't
I'm
switch
just
the topic. We switch the topic.
It's all time. We got
my
dude. No,
fault,
we
yo.
got a ton of comments too that I didn't read. I feel bad. Joel Robertson is in here in the comments. And
Salute,
then
salute,
Mazur salute, Michaela Bell as well. And then
salute, salute.
we've got that moonsault was crazy from Coach 23. Oh
Nah,
no.
it was a vicious moonsault. I ain't-
It was.
Chitara Portis is in the comments. We've got awesome comments. Thank you everyone that's in the comments. I mean, let's get to the next topic. We got a bunch of stuff to cover today. But let's talk Chase U, right?
and more importantly, woo, 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 woo.
The
War
U.
dogs.
The U. Sorry, by the way, I have that messed up finger, so the U is not easy to do.
Can't keep.
But I like messed. I tried to do one, and it's
Like
like
it waves.
I
at
had to
you.
like put it into place.
It be
But
waving at you. Like
yeah,
yay.
it Chase U and the War Dogs. I love this tag team match. One of the best televised tag team matches I've seen in a while. We had Carter Crisp. Shout out Crisp. Shot, you're wearing the gear. Shout out Crisp Imaging. We had him in the chat. He was jacked about it. He hasn't watched an NXT with us in a long time. Big wrestling fan himself. Dude, this match blew me away. Not my expectation, but like from a pro wrestling standpoint, what more could you really ask for? Sean, I got to ask you about it. I mean, these titles have to be given up eventually, but right now, I don't think so, I guess.
Look, man, the War Dogs have been the best tag team in professional wrestling thus far so far this year. I feel like they have solid bouts every time they defend the title on NXT. And it's also uh kudos to the NXT tag division. I think they have a lot of viable competitors, and Chase U is a very solid tag team. I think people get it misconstrued with them being very gimmicky, somewhat comedy aspects to it. But Andre Chase is a very, very sound professional wrestler. The guy does stuff very well in ring. He sells like $1,000,000. He knows how to get the crowd interacted. I think he's a gem in NXT. Same how we talk about Tony D'Angelo. I feel like you need to also give him that same respect as well.
Yeah.
Duke Hudson, stud, man. That dude is a strong competitor, a powerhouse in his own right. And the War Dogs, man, Braun Breaker is on a crazy, crazy like streak of how much he's catapulting in the WWE. From winning these tag titles to being a super mini Goldberg on SmackDown to a phenomenal showing at the Royal Rumble. You're seeing the confidence. That's the key. The confidence in this kid now. I feel like he feels like he's that dude and he's
Yeah.
wrestling like he's that dude. Him and Baron coming out with the, ring gear synonymous together looked awesome. Solid bout. And I mean, War Dogs ultimately come out winning this match. And I'm curious to see what goes on with Chase U because there's a lot of friction with the women in it. Um, I don't know what the direction of they are going to be. They kind of are stuck in the limbo of NXT. But I feel like at some point, maybe not now, but within maybe later in the year, I would like to see him possibly move up and get an opportunity, man. I feel like Andre Chase and Duke Hudson are talented guys, and they have a very strong purpose in this WWE universe.
I think no question. And I love the team aspect of this. Baron Corbin's been put in a position where he looks bad, man. Like goat bad. And I mean, the bad type of good is what I'm talking about here. Like
Like
every single time you see him on SmackDown.
so, there was a period of time in NXT where I thought that he was the hottest. Period. I'll go away from that now and say that this is probably the best Corbin has looked in years. And I've been a big fan. I was a fan of the Lone Wolf, not as much of as Constable Corbin, but after that, he understands how his character works, and the evolution has just been bow on point, bow on point, bow on point. I'm ready to see him on the main roster going for the world title now. He's put in constant work, great work, and it's almost like it may not seem like it, but he's mentoring Braun Breaker. he's feeding off him as well. And it's just been such a pleasure to watch a team like this grow together. I definitely would not mind seeing them in Mania in a tag title match. Go ahead and let Braun just run the weekend basically, and they end it with winning the tag titles on WrestleMania. You can't do nothing better than that. You can't do nothing
I,
better than that.
I'm with you 100%. I mean, it's one of those things. It just adds up. Let's talk about our next topic. Let's talk about Sean Spears, because this one's a little funky. So Sean Spears' debut was hidden from almost anyone, and I think that was the best part about it. I enjoyed this debut. Shot, I knew you enjoyed it a ton.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta ask you about it, like for his return match, the whispering in the ear. It's a squash, but give me your thoughts on it.
Um, it's not about the match at all, about the in-ring stuff. We know Sean Spears is a vet and he's good as good as he can be. It is about the character development and us seeing Sean Spears in NXT. You know, not Ty Dillinger. This is Sean Spears. This is the guy who is the chairman uh in AEW, and this is a different rendition of his character. Fascinating, bro. Super fascinating. Way more darker, way more sinister, kind of playing Jedi mind tricks with his competition. And you saw it a little bit in the match, him, whispering in the guy who he wrestled's ear, telling him punch me, and then just absolutely obliterating him, man. Strong knees to his face, all of that, and the fiery promo after that with the lights cut off, the chair out, talking to Ridge Holland, telling him that he is not who he thinks he is, and it has a bit of reminiscence of like that weird creepiness that we see maybe in Joe Gacy, but it's a lot different. It's a lot more like I don't know how to explain it. It's got its own twist to it, and it's very intriguing to me. um Ridge coming out, them having a little uh scuffle, and him basically telling Ridge like, "Go ahead, do what you do, hurt me. That's all you do is hurt people," and it messing with Ridge's head. I like it. I think this is a fascinating storyline. They're going to get a match next week. I hope this isn't just the match and we end the feud off of there, because I think there's a lot of story that can be told with this. I think Sean Spears is going to do good stuff in NXT. I think he's a perfect vet to have on the roster. And I think he's a good character to have to kind of add in different storylines and help these young talents kind of gain the feel of what a storyline is, and an actual wrestling storyline, just because his character has a little bit more seriousness to it.
I agree with so much of what you said. And we've got a comment here from Coach 23 that says, this is the Sean Spears that is supposed to be booked, not the way he got booked by his last employer. And I will also say this. So, yes, for Sean Spears, who I do believe is incredibly talented, this is exactly how he should be booked, for sure. But he also needs to be in the right place to be booked that way. And at his last employer, on that food chain, he's a lot lower than he is in NXT.
I
Mhm.
agree 100% on that.
Don't
Yes.
get me wrong. He's a veteran. He's a stud. He can really wrestle. For advancement, this is a better opportunity for Sean Spears. And that I'm stoked about.
Yes.
But I don't blame AEW for how he was booked at that time, because that roster is stacked and it's a
He,
competitive
Absolutely.
environment.
I
And
think he
the
did good stuff on
guys,
AEW too,
He
though.
did.
he
I
did
don't really
Like
have an issue
the
because
I
chairman.
like the Pinnacle a lot.
he was a part. He had
Yeah,
before TV. He had a really good feud with Cody. The chair
yes.
spot. Remember the good hand? He's a good hand. Remember that?
Yep,
That's the genesis of this whole thing.
it
That
is.
started Sean Spear as the chairman.
That started the chairman because he was using the loaded glove with Tully Blanchard. Oh,
Yep.
Drizzy, the historian, by the way,
Like
in the
this,
clutch right there.
but this is all. He's not doing anything different than he was doing at AEW. It's just that when you have characters like MJF, you have Wardlow, when you got Mox, Jericho, what can you do?
There's only so much time. There's
Look,
only so many
he's
people that can be
you
booked.
can say the same with a lot of other guys too. It's not
Yeah.
just only him, so you can't. It's not like eh, I don't think it's a book character wise. I don't see. We didn't get to see an opportunity for it, and yeah, like he just didn't get the opportunity, and it's fine, man. Things happen. If he is able to shine here, that's good for him. We should be happy for the wrestler. We shouldn't. I don't care about
It's not
Yeah.
the
about the companies.
war side, man.
It's
See,
not
yeah,
about the
Any
companies. It's
I
about the
look at
wrestlers.
it like he found the right set of teammates to
Yes.
play
Mhm.
with,
Yes.
right? As opposed to it's not that he had bad teammates on the other side, but he found the right team where he can play a role that is more impactful.
Yes.
And I think that's something that we often overlook when it comes to professional wrestling. But speaking of often overlooked, let's never, ever, 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 ever. And Shot, I gotta ask you about this one. Let's never, ever, 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 ever look
Oh,
over.
here it comes.
Let's never overlook the Kabuki Warriors again. Like
no,
what
absolutely not.
It's
Why the long
coming.
face, Drizzy? Why
coming
the
to
long face?
NXT?
Because I feel it
How good
coming.
is this?
I
I'm
feel it
asking you
coming.
because I know how much you love this match.
I feel it coming.
Lyra and Tatum, talk to me,
Ooh,
man.
There
ooh.
it goes, and there it goes. There
Tatum
it goes.
Tuesday,
There it goes.
baby. Tatum Tuesday. We'll get to her in a second. The Kabuki Warriors are tremendous. They are phenomenal. They I am a damage control stan. I went crazy a couple weeks ago talking about that. Me and Clark disagreed on damage control. I absolutely love them. I was ecstatic to see Kyrie Sane come back to WWE.
Still don't like them.
Um, I love them. Anything tied with Io, Kyrie, and Oscar, my Joshi queens. I love it. They're phenomenal. They look like $1,000,000, and they wrestled a phenomenal match tonight. It shows you how the tag team women's division can be something, and it feels a lot different on NXT compared to how it's wrestled on the main roster. Maybe it's the given time, maybe it is the atmosphere, maybe it's the competition. I'm not entirely sure. But I thought they had a phenomenal tag team match against Lyra and Tatum Paxley. I think all four women came to work tonight. I love all the, craziness of Tatum and Kyrie doing all that. Like Kyrie kind of getting on her on fours and Tatum doing all of her crazy stuff. And then that spinning elbow is incredible. The insane elbow to finish it off. Ah, man, but great match. But we got to keep it real, man. Tatum Paxley got done dirty tonight. Lyra, I am highly disappointed in you. How dare you hit your teammate by accident like that? That is not the chemistry that she deserves with her. Lyra is the reason they lost tonight. They should be the tag team champs, but nope. She kicked her most loyal friend of them all, Tatum Paxley, friend of the year. Friend
Friend
of
of
the
the year.
year.
Friend
I
of the
wish
year.
the friend of
Friend
the
of the
year.
year.
Her best
Like,
friend.
yeah, it's like there is not a better friend on this universe.
They're buddy
That
buddy.
there's
So you're
not a
telling
friend.
hold on. You're telling me she's a better friend than Chris Jericho was to Kevin Owens.
Yes,
You're
Yes.
telling me that he's a better friend than Mickey James was to Trish Stratus.
yes, she is a better friend than Chuck and Trent are to Orange Cassidy and
You
Sue.
you better
She
be
is the
They're
happy.
the
bestest.
best friends though.
She is the top tier friend of them all. All right, she is if they put friend and they had a picture of it in the Webster's dictionary, Tatum would be right there. But we are progressing this storyline between them. But the main key of what happened after this match was Miss Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez, the
Roxanne.
ticking time bomb, has had enough. She wants that title, and she ain't. Everyone in the line, get out,
He
kicking through
said,
the door, and she put a beating on poor Lyra, man.
Keep going,
She broke
Roxanne.
that arm. She had to go get medical attention. I am totally invested in this match between these two going in to stand and deliver if this is the call because a heel Roxanne feels a lot more fresh, a lot more intriguing. I love Roxanne Bell for Bell. I think she's a phenomenal worker, but the babyface stuff was getting super, super stale. The playing the underdog, all of that stuff, it was getting super stale. This, I don't know. It feels a little more to who she might be. She a little feisty, and that feistiness is coming out there. And she beat her down, and it was a nice beat down. It looked very, very
that was
bad.
that was
As
not a
so,
beat down. She took her arm home with her.
yep.
She's
No doubt
carrying. She
about
Trademark.
it.
took out. She put her arm in the backpack and went home with it. And she skipped up the ramp. Like Roxanne, we've been seeing it for some months now. She's been just like every opportunity, she just seems to get looked over every single time. She finally snapped and look, no, literally, she snapped Lyra's arm. She snapped and took the arm with her.
Snap at any moment. Madness.
Like she snapped it to a sling, like snap.
She did. I mean, dude, it's one of those segments where you think about it. So we got a ton of comments too here that we got to get into before we finish up. We've got
We got.
she did Lyra so wrong.
My
She
boy
did.
Fro. Yo, did you
It's just,
freeze?
she's just like,
Absolutely. Yes, it did for a second. I'm sorry. Technical issues are killing me. But we've got she did Lyra so wrong. Let's start with that. Then Anthony Manzano. I see a lot of parallels between the Tatum and Lyra storyline with Mickey and Trish. Is it only me or do you guys see
Yeah.
it as
it's
well? I
it's
get it.
like a
It's a
good gum. It's like you're putting your own spin on some gumbo. Like you know the base is for it, but you're putting your own little spin on it. Kind of the same thing with the Trick and Mellow thing. The Trick and Mellow storyline base is Triple H and Shawn Michaels, but they put their own spin on it. The base is Mickey and Trish, but they're putting their own spin on it.
I am with you on that 100%. Let's also add Coach 23 said Roxanne hits hard. Yes, she does. Roxanne's ready. She's ready. I think for the big leagues, like
she,
Roxanne to me is call up central.
she is, but I like this because it's kind of similar to Braun Breaker. We thought Braun was ready. They made him heel. They let him do this little run, and now he's ready. Roxanne with this heel run, doing a little bit more, can be ready to get on the main
At
roster.
at this point, we're doing this with Roxanne, putting the little bitty. You can't see right there. We're putting the little bitty extra season
Hmm.
to make that stuff just like mwah. Like, because if we
Yeah,
want to be if we want to be honest, Roxanne was ready when she came in. She's had
she's so good.
because before she came in, she had the AEW run, she had the ROH run, and the Impact run. So she was ready. She had more experience than half the most of those girls that are coming through there.
I want to see her debut and beat Liv Morgan down. I don't know why. I like seeing. I want Liv Morgan to lose as the debut to everybody that comes up.
Yeah, add that to the
Nothing
revenge.
personal, Liv.
Why
You
are you so
cool.
anti-live?
Oh, he
Cause
was talking bad about you, Liv. He was talking
Is it New
Liv.
Jersey?
no,
He was
I like
talking
Liv.
mess.
I've said it before. Liv Morgan's promo game is like just. I just hate how she drags her words, bro. But she's doing better now. I like this stuff with Becky yesterday, but they better not put her in this. If y'all ruin Becky versus Rhea at Mania and add everybody else to it, you giving me more reason not to want to watch Monday Night Raw.
I am with you on that. Coach 23 also added shoddy that Braun Spear to Zion Quinn was
Ooh,
crazy.
look, I know you. I know you know.
You
Us
know we
in
know.
Wrestling Republic, we're happy about that Braun win.
We
This
cut
is
him in
definitely
half.
nuts.
He was cut in half. I'm with you. Okay, with that does actually bring us to the end of the show, and it's been a blast. And before I normally do my end of the show, go home, Kobe, I want the normal 3 camera back. This is such a hassle with this new camera angle. It is a huge hassle. I'm out here
We want the
moving
camera
cameras.
cuts.
We want Dryzzy. What are we doing here? This
Yeah,
was
man.
half
Now you-
the show. I'm out here dragging, dropping stuff when I could be talking about things.
To our loyal
Neither-
Tuesday night
Yes,
commenters, we are going to create a petition. If you can all sign it,
yes,
that'd
we've
be
got it.
great.
We want it back. We want the old camera back. All 3 of us. We got me, Drizzy, Shad. See, I just learned how to do it. I had to teach
It's
myself how
like
to
the
do it
Brady
before the
Bunch.
show. I'm just telling you, though, it is the Brady Bunch.
It's like the boxes
Legitimately.
are moving like the
With
Brady
that,
Bunch.
if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. It means the world to us. We will be back next Tuesday, the very same time, the very same place, potentially with the old camera angle back. We'll see about that. We're going to work that up the chain of command.
One last thing. One last thing. There's a lot of people in the comments. I know y'all love wrestling. Y'all want to go to WrestleMania.
Yes.
Follow Drizzy. He got the directions on his
Yes.
post. Follow mine. I got the directions. Follow Wrestling Republic.
Immediately.
Download that Next Level app and man, get yourself
Enter
some
the
free tickets.
contest.
Some tickets. Go to Mania.
Go to next level. Go to WrestleMania.
More importantly, win so you can take me to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Also, the greatest off the air and Throwback Thursdays, Coach 23. Monster shout out. You're the best. So next Tuesday, we'll be back. Same place, same time. Thursday, different time, same place. And then tomorrow, that's going to be at noon Pacific. That's at 3 on the East Coast. That's 2 Central Time, which is 1 Mountain. I just learned that. And then that's 8 o'clock over in the UK. Most importantly, though, 4 a.m. Manila. Shout out Coach 23. Thank you, everybody that tunes in every day. We love y'all so much. Bobby Petito, you as well. Everyone have an awesome night. Talk to you, everybody, soon.
Bang, bang.